Hello student, for the class 12 online series we are going to start from the chapter 5. This is the first chapter from the second unit. We will complete first unit later. From today I am going to start your regular basis on video classes for the biology. Chapter 5 is principle of inheritance and variation. This is also known as Mendelian genetics. In this chapter, we are going to study about the experiments and observations which are done by the Gregor John Mendel. He tried to explain the process of inheritance, how he conduct his experiment, what are its observations, what are its drawback, and the advanced techniques other than this Mendelian inheritance also we study in this chapter. In this video we are going to study about some basic concepts of this chapter. From the next video we will start from the Mendelian process, monohybrid cross, dihybrid cross, but from this chapter, from this video we just focus on the some definitions or some basic concepts. So first is, what do you mean by the inheritance or heredity? Actually, this is the process by which characters are transformed, or you can say transferred from one generation to next generation. Actually, heredity or inheritance, it is the process by which characters are transferred from one generation. कि जो आपकी फर्स्ट जनरेशन है, इवन इन द एनिमल्स और इन द प्लांट्स, जो पेरेंट्स से जो ऑफस्प्रिंग्स और यू कैन से इन चिल्ड्रंस में जो करेक्टरिस्टिक्स ट्रांसफ़र होते हैं, उस प्रोसेस को कहते हैं इनहेरिटेंस और हेरिडिटी. You can see in your surrounding we are similar to our parents. All the plants, if there is a guava plant, if we show the seed of guava into, then again a new guava plant will germinate that is similar in taste as it's the parents plants. So it is the conclusion that all offsprings are similar to their parents, and the process of transmission of parents characters, parents traits into the offsprings is known as the heredity, or you can say inheritance. Next is variations. What do we mean by the variations? Difference in the traits of individual of a progeny from each other or from their parents is called variations. कि जो traits हैं, जो भी characteristics हैं, here as trait means the any characteristics, as we are the human, we are our traits, like our body, our body shape, or you can say your color, and all characteristics, any traits, like कुछ हम हैं अपने पेरेंट्स के सिमिलर, कोई भी देख के हमें बता सकता है कि हम बाय फेस से हम हमारे पेरेंट्स के सिमिलर होते हैं. सो जो सिमिलरिटी है, जो डिफरेंस है इन ट्रेड्स ऑफ इंडिविजुअल ऑफ ए प्रोजेनी, कि इसी फ्रॉम the difference in the trait of individual of a progeny from each other, individuals of a progeny, कि एक ही पेरेंट्स के जितने भी ऑफस्प्रिंग्स हैं उनके बीच में डिफरेंस होता है, कि हम हमारे जो सिबलिंग्स होते हैं, हमारे जो रियल ब्रदर सिस्टर्स हैं, हम उनके सिमिलर भी हैं और हम उनके डिफरेंस, हमारे बीच में एक डिफरेंस भी होता है. एंड फ्रॉम देयर पेरेंट्स, कि जो ऑफस्प्रिंग्स होते हैं वो अपने पेरेंट्स के सिमिलर तो होते हैं बट एग्जैक्ट नहीं होते हैं. उन दोनों के बीच में, ऑफस्प्रिंग और पेरेंट्स के बीच में जो डिफरेंस होता है उसको कहते हैं वेरिएशंस. कि जो ट्रेट्स का जो डिफरेंस है, प्रोजेनी ऑफ इंडिविजुअल, एक ही इंडिविजुअल के जितने भी प्रोजेनी है कोई भी सिमिलर नहीं होता है, उन सब के बीच में एक डिफरेंस होता है. एंड पेरेंट्स और ऑफस्प्रिंग के बीच में जो डिफरेंस होता है उसको हम स्टडी करते हैं एज ए वेरिएशंस. नाउ जेनेटिक्स, it is the branch of science which deals with inheritance and variations. This genetics it is just a branch of science where we study about the inheritance process and the variations. In this chapter you are going to study about the Mendelian genetics. uh, Mendel tried to define the variations by doing experiment on the Pisum stivum, or you can say garden pea plant. He select 7 traits in the garden pea plant, and he do pollination, self pollination and cross pollination between the different varieties of plant, and he tries to explain the process of inheritance, how the characteristics are transferred to, what is the process to transfer the characters from parents to the offspring, and what are the reasons behind the variations between the progeny of a parents or the parent to the offspring. So what Mendel do is Mendel select garden pea as his experimental plant, and the reasons why Mendel select the garden pea plant is, first is it is an annual plant with a short life cycle, so several generations can be studied within a short time period. कि जो इट्स एनुअल प्लांट होता है, सीजनल एनुअल प्लांट है और इसका लाइफ साइकिल भी एक शॉर्ट होता है, सो ही कैन गेट द रिजल्ट्स इन द शॉर्टर पीरियड. अगर वो एक ऐसा प्लांट सेलेक्ट करता जिसमें जो एनुअल नहीं है, लाइक उसका 5 to 7, इफ़ इन केस ही सेलेक्ट द मैंगो प्लांट, कि मैंगो ट्री के तो आफ्टर 20 ईयर्स सीड्स आते हैं, 20 ईयर्स के बाद सीड आएंगे, वो उनको फिर से शो करेगा, आफ्टर द 20 ईयर्स फिर से नए सीड आएंगे, तब उसको उसके रिजल्ट्स पता चलेंगे. सो वो suitable नहीं होते हैं. He select the Mendel pea plant because it is annual plant, short life cycle, due to its short life cycle. Second is it has perfect bisexual flowers containing both male and female parts. Its flower, it is having bisexual flower. These bisexual flowers means those flower which have both male part and female part. Male part is like stamen, and female part like female part in the flower is the pistil. So flower of the pea plant are bisexual flowers. Come to the third is the flower are prominently self pollinating. It is easy to get pure lines for several generations. To start the experiments, Mendels need to select the pure line for the flowers. So these flowers are suitable for the self pollination. He can use these flowers as a self pollination naturally to get the pure lines. Means I will you can I know there is now you are having doubt like the what are the pure lines. I will explain these terms like pure lines into the next video when we do the cross for the Mendel in traits. So come to the next. Fourth is it is easy to cross pollinate them because pollen from one plant can be introduced to the stigma of another plant by removing the anther. So it is the during the cross pollination, what scientists do is they just cut the male part from the bisexual flower. If we cut the male part like anther before its maturity, then flower become the female flower. We can cover that flower to avoid the unwanted pollen grain falling on the stigma. So it is very easy to cut the anther part for the from the flower to avoid the self pollination, and we can do cross pollination very easily. Pea plant produce a large number of seed in one generation. Obviously it can produce a large number of seeds, so he can from a one plant he can get many seeds. He can preserve some seeds, and other half seeds can be used for the next experiment. Pea plant could easily be raised, maintained and handled. There is no problem for the maintenance and handle of the pea plants. Next is a number of easily detectable contrasting traits are available. Mendel used 7 traits of the pea plants. I will just explain its traits. Two terms are there: phenotype and genotype. Phenotype, what do you mean by the phenotype? Visible expression of genetic constitutions, tall or dwarf. Actually, in any organism, even in the plant or in the animals, phenotype means the visible expressions. कि जो phenotype means जो हम नेक्ड आई से बाहर से किसी भी ऑर्गेनिज्म, प्लांट, एनिमल्स के बाहर से जो ऑब्जर्वेशंस हैं, जो एक्सटर्नल जो ऑब्जर्वेशंस हैं, उन वी कंसिडर दीज एज ए फिनोटाइप. एंड जीनोटाइप मीन्स जेनेटिक कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल्स, की जो डीएनए बेस्ड, कि डीएनए और जो अलील्स एंड फैक्टर्स में क्या इंफॉर्मेशन है, दैट इंफॉर्मेशन बिटवीन द genetic material is known as the genotype. So phenotype are the example of phenotype are the like tall, dwarf mean bona, जो bona होता है means small, or you can our height, our color, in case of plant position of flower, color of flower, all these. And genotype means जो genetic makeup होता है, like जो DNA basis, DNA informations जो होती हैं, we conclude them in the genotype. So come to the all 7 traits which are used by Mendel. Here in any individual, mainly 2 traits are there: dominant trait and the recessive trait. First is seed shape. First character is seed shape of seed. So its dominant trait is the round and recessive trait is the wrinkled. You have to learn. Round is denoted by capital R and wrinkled is denoted by the small r. Next is seed color, yellow or green. Yellow is the dominant trait and green is the recessive. Students, you have to learn this table properly. Today your work is to first is to learn all these 7 traits. What are the 7 traits used by the Mendel in the pea plant? Okay. And the symbols I am saying, like seed color is yellow is represented by the capital Y and green is represented by the small y. Flower color violet and white. Violet is dominant trait represented by the capital V and white is the recessive trait, it will represent by the small v. Come to the next, pod shape. Pod shape, full or constructed. Full is the dominant trait, constructed is the recessive trait. Full. Next is pod color, green and yellow. Same, green is the dominant trait and yellow is the recessive trait. Come to the flower position, axial and terminal. Axial means flower is situated on the branch parts, कि जो branches होती हैं वहाँ पर फ्लावर सिचुएटेड है. एंड टर्मिनल्स मीन्स फ्लावर जो प्लांट का जो टॉप होता है, जो स्टेम का जो टॉप मोस्ट पार्ट होता है, वहाँ पर अगर फ्लावर प्रेजेंट है, दैट पोजिशन इज द टर्मिनल पोजिशन. एंड द एक्सियल मीन्स in the sides or in the branches. Stem height. Next, 7th character is stem height, tall and dwarf. Tall is the dominant and dwarf is the recessive trait. So dwarf means small height and tall means larger height plants. And tall is represented by the capital T and dwarf is represented by the small t. I know this time you are having some doubts like the what do you mean by the dominant trait, recessive trait. In the second video I am going to solve your doubts. You can ask, you if you are having any kind of problem, you are facing any kind of problem or any doubt, you can ask via the e-feedback options to me. Till that, read that PDF what I sent, what was sent by me before this video, and revise all these definitions. From the next video I am going to start the explanation of Mendelian experiments.